Hi everybody. This has been I'm shooting another video. This isn't another shaky soapbox. Uh, this one's gonna be a lot more serious. I'm probably going to end up repeating myself. Probably, I'm probably going to stop, stall, whatever. Because this one is kind of difficult to really talk about. Is just what's going on with me, my life in general. I'll probably post this on my Tumblr. I'm itchy a lot. I think that's part of what I have. I have like a lot of medical issues going on with me, and uh, just to show people um, what depression is like. Excuse me. What depression is like, what dealing with it every day, what PTSD looks like, what to a non-soldier, what fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, just what life is like. It's just basically hell, and you just I also have a lot of physical um, things going on with me, and you're probably gonna hear me cry because I'm just like on the verge now. But this is just I have a lot of things going on, and I'm pretty much of an introvert. Uh, been like that most of my life. Um, when you have God, this is harder than I thought to be going through. But just basically, it's how I grew up. I grew up um, with in an abusive family. Uh, there was verbal, emotional, and physical abuse. This is just within the bloods, the relatives, the family. Um, the I also went through a lot of. I was bullied in school growing up. Um, that just kind of beat you down when you're bullied and you're teased and made fun of. Also, when I was growing up, I was sexually molested as a child, and um, just basically really not having the term self-esteem was not even, I don't think, really around this, because this was like uh 60s and 70s. I think self-esteem kind of came along in the late 70s, early 80s. That's when that I think that came around, at least in the Yakima area. That's where I grew up, is in Yakima, Washington. Um, uh, I'm just I've always been introverted, and when it came to the teen years, um, I was still really ignorant about sex and how teenagers thought about sex. I really didn't pay that much attention to it. And because I don't know, I didn't care. And I think that's why some guys would just come near me, is because I developed kind of early, so, having the large breastises, and I don't know, for some reason guys have this idea that, well, you have big boobs, you're a slut, or you're you're an easy target. Um, no, and I don't know. I just basically grew up with, people didn't want you around unless they wanted you for something. They wanted to use you or in some way take advantage of you. And I never I never grew up knowing what true friendship is, where people just gave a shit about each other and they were in each other's lives all the time. And it's just like, nobody really wanted me around unless they wanted something from me. Nobody wanted just to be in my company. Nobody wants to just sit and talk or any of that. So that just kind of compounded the introversion, and just made it stronger, I guess. And just basically, I just grew up with having it burned in my brain that I was just plain unlovable. I was married for 10 years to, a male that was verbally, emotionally, and psychologically abusive. He started getting physical, and that's when I left. So, I mean, he would, we never had kids, but you could see Java right there. He's my 16-year-old Pomeranian, and I'll get to him a little bit. And he would threaten to hurt Java in front of me just to get at me. And he was controlling and manipulative. I had a nephew of mine that had passed away. This is while we were married. And he basically coerced me into not going to his funeral because the funeral was out of state, and we didn't have money, and he just coerced me into not going to my nephew's funeral, and I feel like shit about that. That's something I've carried with me. This is where I get a lot of the PTSD from. And I've just gained this humongous distrust of people. Sorry. And I've just, to this day, I mean, I would rather be home alone instead of going here, there, and everywhere. And so I just take the default position of I am not wanted. I am not worth getting to know. I am not worth anything. And this is the part of the depression that really gets me is that if I didn't have my dogs, I would have been dead a long time ago. Because it feels like, well, I don't have a use. I don't have a life. I don't have anybody to lean on. That's what it's like when you're not lovable. You can't even get, there's no, nobody to give a shit about you. You try to do nice things for people, and you just get kicked in the head for it. It's just like, no good deed goes unpunished. I just try to be a good person and help people, and just fucking blows up in my face. And it's just like, why fucking try? Why try to be why try to be a good person? Just say fuck it. Try to be, every man for themselves. And if it weren't for my dogs, I would have killed myself a long time ago. There are times just the loneliness just surrounds you, and you like, no, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to live. Last night, I had a dream. It was basically about Java, my 6-year-old Pomeranian. Right, he was right there. And it's like, every time I turn around to look at him, he was getting smaller and smaller. Tinier and tinier. And he would like break off into little pieces. And there was nothing I could do to stop it. The last time I looked at him, he was gone. He was just dust. And I couldn't bring him back. I've had Java since he was 5 months old. And as of this year, 2017, he's 16 years old. He's been my son for so long. I can't imagine life without him. But I know I'm gonna lose him soon. I love my other dog, Chewy. I inherited him from my mother when she passed away. She had 4 Yorkies, and I got one of them. And I have Hitch, my third dog, who's basically to help me with the transition of losing Java, and to help me cope. And they're service dogs, companion animals for me, because Chewy, he's the one I grab when I'm having my PTSD and anxieties. Like when I'm out in public, if I'm lucky enough to have him with me. It sucks to be like this. There was another thing. I want to be liked. I want to be loved. I want people to want me to be with them, to want me to be, want me for company. But people just don't. And most of the time, I'm accustomed to that. I'm used to it. I'm used to being ignored most of the time. I'm used to being by myself most of the time. But there are times when I'm lonely for more companionship, like someone to lean on, that I could lean on and have, instead of having people lean on me or use me or whatever. You know, it would be nice to have someone just to just sit and watch a movie with and talk with. And just, you know, and I know the great big scheme of things is that all of our lives, all of our lives aren't really worth a damn. I mean, we earthlings in this tiny, tiny, insignificant little planet, in the vastness of space, the universe, everything. We're smaller than amoeba. I mean, just in everything. But this is our world, and everybody should have an important place in it. Everybody should feel important. Everybody should feel loved and wanted. And I know I'm not. For the most part, I've accepted that. I've accepted it. But just there are times it just where things have just built up, and it's just like pressure. Oh, shut up. That was my phone, I'm sorry. Oh. And I've been feeling like this for I don't know how long, for a few months. You know, I don't know what's wrong with this doctor. She wants me to keep taking this. It's like generic Cymbalta or something for my depression, and it's making the depression worse. But it's mostly, she says, it's mostly for fibromyalgia. And the pain is okay. I mean, it's taken it to a level where I can deal with it. But the the depression, it's you know, if I was on Prozac, I mean, I wouldn't feel a fucking thing. I wouldn't give a shit. I would not be making this video. But she took me off it, and I'm on this goddamn shit. And I don't want to. I don't want to take these pills anymore. I don't want to take anything anymore. I don't. Not even for my diabetes. I happen to be a diabetic. You know, and I've been just eating crap, and because it's just like my mindset is okay. You know, without actually committing suicide, what can I do? And I said, well, just start eating crap. Eat processed food. Eat. I mean, that's gonna shorten your life. Sorry. Sorry about that, but my nose is full of snot. I had to do that. And God, you know, and the reason why I shaved my head, I mean, you see my earlier videos. I have really long hair, or you know, and all that. Well, and I used to wear makeup. It's just like I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care. It's just easier to deal with a shaved head or closely shaved head, or what do you call this? Buzzed head? I don't know. Just clippered. Just don't have to deal with it. I just get up and get dressed, walk the dogs, drink my coffee, and just get on with my day. Um, like I said, I apologize for all the itching. That's part of the fibromyalgia. Is where you get itchy patches. There are times you get foot cramps, like muscle spasms or cramps. So I get in my feet and my legs sometimes. It, um, no matter how much a lot of people say, well, it's because you're dehydrated, but I drink shit tons of water. I mean, I'm up 5-6 times a night peeing. So I got water here. And it just, you know, I get to the point where, you know, you can only watch so much TV. You can watch so many YouTube videos. You can sit on Facebook for so long. You just get tired of it all. You just, it's just like you go, what's the fucking point? And that's where I'm at right now. What's the fucking point? Is there one? Going back a little bit, the thing with, you know, dating and things, it just, you know, whatever guys I've met, dated, whatever, all they wanted was just sex. One night stands. I mean, they didn't give a shit about me as a person. I was just a pussy to them. I didn't matter. And, you know, it kind of doesn't help. And, you know, the thing is, I've hated sex. I've always hated sex. And it's just like, you know, having sex is just, I don't feel anything except pain. Sex is painful for me, and I don't like it. And it's just like, the thought of having sex is like, me. I don't think about sex. I don't. A lot of people must have sex. If they want to have sex, go right ahead. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. And so, and I just, I'm asexual. That's what makes me an asexual. Is I don't care about sex. I'm not really attracted to anybody, or I want to get naked and get in bed with. I don't care. But when it comes to any sort of relationship that I would like to have, a dream relationship would be just someone where we can rely on each other, where we have each other's backs, but we have a very deep love and respect for each other. But since that's not going to happen anytime soon or ever, I deal with being myself, And God, I miss Prozac. Because I would not be emotional like this. I was back on Prozac. I miss it really bad. And that's another thing about the medications that I'm on. Several of them just dehydrate the shit out of me, so I'm always thirsty. My skin is always that's part of the itching, is the dehydration. Like I said, I've told you I was going to repeat myself. When we're at 26 minutes, almost 27 minutes. I think I'm talked out when it comes to this, about what's going on with me. I know nobody gives a shit, but I just wanted to talk this out and get it out there. And if I reach someone, anyone, if this resonates with them, if they feel what I feel, hopefully I help someone. Hopefully. And that may be a good thing. But I would really want to know from me, why go on? Why keep going? Why? Why can't I stop my life at will? I mean, have I really impacted anybody's life? I really don't think so. I really don't. It's nothing. Because every time like I said before, when I try to be a good person and help people out, get kicked in the teeth, stabbed in the back, whatever. I'm just tired. Just tired of it. Done. I'm just done. Just done. The scars are gone. I mean, I even tried cutting. At my age, I'm 53 years old. I've tried cutting like 3 times this year. I could probably do it again. I try, and sometimes I think it helps. Like I said, the reason why I do this, don't wear makeup. I dress, you know, unattractively as possible, because as long as I'm comfortable, I don't give a shit what I wear, as long as it's clean. Another thing I miss is human contact. I really don't get touched much, except for my dogs. I hold and love my dogs, and my dogs give me kisses. But what I miss is human contact. Just someone to hold me, hold each other. I mean, just not really kissing is ugh, but just kind of human contact where it just basically does your heart good, or does everything good. I think someone I knew a long time ago said, "But it sounds like you're love starved." She was right. She's right. She is right. You know, she said it like years and years ago. I just think when you adjust, for the most part, get used to being starved in certain areas, and you just go on, your heart continues to beat, you still breathe, you still function, bodily function. But in here, it's dead. You're just dead. I think that's where I'm at now. I know I'm unlovable, I get that. I totally get that. I wish I knew why. I wish I knew why people don't want me around. I know I'm ugly. I know a lot of things about me. Fuck, I miss Prozac. God damn it, I miss it. I want to be back on it. I've been off it for too goddamn long. I'm really not crying out. I'm not. Sorry. Sorry about that. I apologize. God. Honestly, part of it's what our society is doing. We're doing to ourselves. You know, I'll start in. There's a show on TV. It's called True TV. It's called Impractical Jokers. It's like right now it's my favorite show. And this is what gets me is that it's about these four guys. They met in high school. And they've been best friends ever since. And I mean, they're now in their 40s and they're still the bestest. They're still the best of friends. They are so close and they have this genuine love for each other. I mean, they're all brothers from different mothers and they're just so close, and I'm just so envious of that. I'm so envious of that. I just want, I would want those guys to know how lucky they are that they have that kind of love for each other. And they really had good parents. They really have good parents. Because other people aren't so lucky. Oh, God, this is 36 minutes long. I probably should end. Oh, God. I probably should end the video. It's just... But I did want to mention them. In practice, I love those guys. I love those guys. So I just wanted to put all of this out there. My family may be pissed off at me because I'm posting this online and in public and all of that. That's fine. I don't care. Maybe a while. I don't know. I may go private on it. I don't know. But I just want to get this out there. Just send it out to the universe, whatever. So